What I wanted to be able to do, I didn't want to have to always click on something, go to a dialog like this, get a dialog open, make a change to the record, then close the record, then go to the next one, change the thing. That was a pain in the neck. What I wanted to do was be able to edit it right from this list, right? I wanted to be able to click this field and change the name. This is I'm starting in the dashboard, so you're going to see the dashboard now. This is a history list. Notice on the top right where I'm starting to draw a circle, there's a new button called Edit Off. That means it behaves the same as it does now. It's just a list. When you click a record, it opens up a dialog and you can make all kinds of changes. If you turn Edit on, that makes the list hot. So if you touch a cell, it lets you edit the cell right there. I'm going to touch a few of them so you can see how it works. These are showing the ability for it to find selected lists. In event type and status, you can't type in anything. You have to pull it from a list. So this editor supports that, and because those are fields that have drop downs already set, it shows you the drop downs. On the date fields, you can either type in the date or change it, or we have a calendar available and a time as well. So you can select those right off of a drop down. In a text field like subject, you can just type something in. And if it's a field that has a pop-up value, you notice this one has a button to the right of the hint. That means that it has a pop-up table where someone has gone to the trouble to add in values that they want you to use in this field. That's supported as well. So if I click that button, it shows me all of the different values from the drop-down that have been predefined for my group. And the reason people do that, and not enough people do, is data integrity. I have a field that's very important for me, and to be able to query by that field, you have to enter the information correctly. If you don't spell something right, and I go to query for it, I won't find your record. So I create a lookup table with the answers that I want. I lock the field so you can't type in it. And then I tell everyone, whenever you put a value in this field, click that button and just pick it off the list. Don't type it in. That way my data integrity is foolproof. Nobody can mess it up. And when I do a query, it works. For example, if I went into this record and went to investors, I was doing investment real estate, right? I want to know what type of office they buy. So if you're talking to someone on the phone, I want you to ask them, you want office, do you want anything specific, or you just buy anything? So I put a bunch of lookups, and you all have these. And what that does is really important. This particular field has a finite length. It doesn't go on forever. So if you tried to type in this field, Class A, condo conversion, medical office, you'd run out of room really fast. So what we did instead is we created a 2-letter code for each type of office. And the code gets put in there. That lets me put in 50 different types because it's 2 letters. Same for industrial, same for retail, same for multifamily. Every one of these, we went through every one of these and added them all in there. So in this case, you can see I've locked this field. There's no way to type in this field. If I tried to edit that in the list, it would do the same thing. It wouldn't let me type in, but I'd have this button where I could pick them off the list and put them in. So if you haven't done that yet and you have a bigger group, like 4 to 5 people, it's really worth looking into which fields are important to you and locking them. How do you lock them? Simple. Right-click on the label and pick field definitions and say must use pop-up. If you say must use pop-up, they're not allowed to type anything into the field. They have to use that button. Then you just go through, here's another option, comma separated value. What does that mean? Let me turn that off and show you what it means. When I click the button now, I don't have checkboxes anymore. I can only select one value for that field. So if it's something like what type of a vendor are they, they're only going to be one vendor, an attorney, an accountant, a plumber. You don't need to have check boxes for that. But in this case, they can buy all kinds of office. So I want to have multiple values. When I check my fields off, I say must use the pop-up and comma separated values. Now watch what happens when I pull up that same box. Now it has check boxes. And now I can select the multiple values for the field. Okay, so that was this field where I was just showing you the bump, and I'll show you the logical fields. It's just, there are no excitement. They just click or unclick. You won't find this in other programs. I don't guess, it's really hard to do.